All right, everyone. Ruth here with Annan Productions. We are going to do this again. I have tried to do this live for 3 different times now, and it's just giving whatever it's going to give. But here we are. I am going to quickly get my settings going here. I am answering a question today, and the question is from one of the viewers here on YouTube, from Joe. And Joe was just asking for me to show you all what a client gallery looks like. And in this video, I want to go over those things. Here are the two top things that I'm going to do. I will go through some of the galleries that I have. And if you are new here, I am Ruth. I capture images with my media company. We travel throughout the United States. I'm located in the DMV area. So primarily, we're capturing government, politics, we're capturing reception, galas, nonprofit events, all kinds of things. And so I have a lot of content that I'm capturing on the daily. I have a lot of events that I'm currently at. And if I'm not physically there, then other people are there capturing it for my company. Now, I'm going to go straight into it because I don't like to waste time. If you are new here, thank you for stopping by. I want you to ask me questions. I will show you my galleries, and I'd love for you to just ask away. Let me make sure that we are all the way live. And in this quick time that we have together, this is exactly what I want to do. So let me first open up my website because I think that is the quickest way to give you an idea of what a client gallery looks like when your clients are first meeting you for the first time. Your website is the window, it's a glance into what people are seeing, who you are, what services you provide. And this isn't only for photography, this is for anything really. If you are providing any kind of service online or if you provide services in person, having a website is the best introduction. I know that they say that having business cards are great. Yeah, but in the event that you're not at a business event or an event and you can't hand out your business cards, what good is that? So, here on my website, you're seeing, let me get this out of my way. You're seeing images, right? Straight out the bat, this here is my primary client gallery. It's not something that is hidden. It is something that you can find on Google. I tell you exactly who I am, where I'm located, and whom and what I service. I do my best to update my images every so often. I try to have it done once to twice a quarter because it's important. It's important to change out your images. It's important to let people know what you're doing. And then I have a little bio of who I am and what my company provides. I Some people don't prefer to do this, but this is something that I love to do. And I think it just adds a little bit more, it adds a little bit more personality to the brand, and that is leaving my face up here. Am I always going to do that? I don't know. Maybe in the future I'm going to take my face out and I'll just leave our logo up here, but I really like having the face here. I like for people to know whom you're working with. I like for people to know the face of the brand. Again, in the meantime. And then I have our some of our reviews here. Of course, you always want to pick your best work, your top reviews. And thankfully for the business that I own, all of the reviews are great. So it's just a matter of picking which one. And this is also something that I normally will swap out. Then it is always great to have your information online anywhere. Okay. Just wanted to give you a quick now. You see here, this is the rest. These are the rest of my reviews on here. And just the people that we work with. I just want to give you a quick idea of what your primary client gallery is, and that is your website. Images everywhere because that's what we do. We capture images, you all. All right. Now I am going to go into the gallery. This is an event that I captured recently. Give me just 1 second here. I am also going to activate my Instagram because I realized that Many of you also follow me on here on Instagram, and I want to just make sure that, you know, we're also making that connect. So give me a second here. In the meantime, please, in the meantime, populate your questions. Tell me what are some of the questions that you have as I gather myself on this beautiful, what seems to be what, Wednesday? I don't know why I thought it was a Monday, you all. I don't know. But I've also, like, I've had so much going on that it seriously feels like a Monday to me. So I'm trying to get my microphone connected to this phone. Okay. And if you're like me, then you have a gazillion gadgets. Why not? Because everything serves a purpose, okay? And for everyone watching, there are four of you watching right now. Welcome. I'm so happy that you joined me on this quick live where we are going to go over some really cool images. So you just stand by right there as I get my stuff together. I have a pet peeve. Like, I always have to clear my monitors and my cameras. So there's that. All right, let's get going. So for this event here, this is a client that I have worked with over the years. And I am really grateful for that opportunity. I'm grateful for always being able to work with my clients because they are the best. And for this particular event, they brought me out to their retreat. Normally, I am capturing just like their local events. Give me one second. I'm seeing some questions here. Normally, I capture their events, but for this particular event, they were having a retreat. They were having a CEO leadership retreat, which was also a combination of their 120th year in business, if I'm not mistaken. So that's what you're that's what you're going to see here. Let me pull up my comments so that okay, I know exactly what I'm looking at. So, okay, when do you go over the client photo request list for expectations? For events, is it better to do hourly like 350 or okay, so let's first go over this gallery and then I want to answer both of these questions that I just received. So, as you're looking at the gallery, it's really important for you to number 1 know what your client wants. And I think this really, this is going to answer part of your question here, Gordo A172. And that is when do you go over the client photo list expectation? So, pretty much a shot list, right? After I speak with my client, when we go through the onboarding process, and by onboarding, I mean they reach out, they like our work, we send out our packaging, we send out our invoicing, and once our contract is signed, then we can talk a little bit about what their expectation for the event is. That's the second phase. Planning. I want to plan the event with you. And over the years, I've learned to know what to ask for. So, for example, I'm now asking for not just a shot list, but do you have an event run of show? If you don't know what a run of show is, it's basically just what the event planner uses to be able to give to vendors, to give to their client, and it's a script, it's a play-by-play of what is happening at the event itself. And whenever a client doesn't have a shot list but they have a run of show, it's great because then I can map out my own shot list based on that. And because I've been doing this for so many years, it's like a no-brainer for me. It's a no-brainer for the people that I work with because we know the standard shot list and what we want to capture. Now, if they don't have a run of show and they don't have a shot list, then the third and final thing that normally I ask for is a program. Just give me a program. Like, what is your event? what's happening at any given time, and that's what I'm asking them for. And in a program, obviously you're going to have things like, oh, guests arrive at this time, reception is at that time, speaker 1 or speaker 2, or we have awards being presented, and I'm able to build out a shot list. In the past, I was building these out on my own and just based on experience. Nowadays, because we have the help of ChatGPT, because we have the help of all of the AIs out there. I'm not even going to go down the list trying to name them all. It's really helpful because now we know that we don't have to think for ourselves. So in this case, because the client trusts our work and because we've been working together for so long, they didn't have a problem with just saying, "Hey, we just want you to capture this event the way that you normally capture our other events." And here I am trying to open up the images. So, what I wanted to do, because this was a celebration and because this was an event where they are not in their normal settings, they're out and about, and they had activities for them, things are just fun to do. I wanted to capture that. You always want to be the eye for your client. You want your client to remember the day, not just how they planned it, but how it actually turned out, because planning versus the turnout they tend to be two completely different things. And your planner, event planner, your client, whomever, they have certain expectations, and sometimes they think that those things are not happening, or maybe they fell through. But once they see your images, they should be able to know, like, or they should be able to remember, oh wow, this actually looked really good. And another reason why I love starting out with detail shots is because I know that event planners, they really work hard on making sure that the events are beautiful, the events are seamless, and I want them to be able to share these images with other vendors. So, understanding that and being able to provide these types of shots are really important. Outside, like, you want to show people what you're doing, where they were, what kind of day it was, and even for the future. Let's say that this client wants to do this type of event again. Now they know that they can, and they know exactly what they use versus what they didn't use. So, and I think, honestly, I think this stems from my days in wedding photography, because you're capturing a lot of detail. You're capturing detail galore. And it's great because the clients love it. I love it. If they like it, if they love it, I love it. If they like it, I like it. So this is what we're seeing here. Capture what you're seeing. And I like to get to the location on not on time, before time. And when I say on time, I'm talking about like 30 minutes or even an hour if I can, just to really get an idea for where I am and what I'm doing and the types of things. So, as you see here, they really wanted the experience. They really wanted to show people having a good time. And that's what we're capturing. I'm waiting for moments like this. Oh, wait a minute. I'm not even showing you the screen. I'm just getting excited over here. But let me show you my screen and what that looks. Actually, no, I am sharing the screen. Okay, great. So this is just as people are getting off the bus, right? What are they looking at? What do they see? Like, what's their reaction of the place? Because again, they don't get this every day. It's not a celebration every single day. So I'm looking for moments where people are engaged. I'm looking for moments where, the room is full. I'm looking for moments where we know what's happening and people can look back and, just remember these moments. Like, for example, look at this. It's such a warm embrace. And sometimes these are people that haven't seen each other in a while. So you always want to be ready to capture those precise moments. And that is a reason why I walk around with two cameras, because I want to make sure that I'm not losing time on, either changing out my lenses or having to run back for a certain lens. I don't want any of that. I want to make sure that I'm capturing people in the moment, boom, boom, bang, and it's beautiful. Let me see if I can get another image here of just pure engagement. And I'm sure somebody's going to ask this question even as you're viewing this video. I use Pixieset to send my galleries. I can use my own website, but I choose not to because I like the flow of Pixieset. I like how I'm able to, set passwords to my galleries. It's just it works out for my flow. And what I also love is that because I capture multi-day events, I'm able to just have everything within one gallery and have subfolders where my clients can find these things easily. I always want my client experience to be a seamless one. So as you can see, I was there, what, Thursday, Friday afternoon. And so you're having everything being shown to you within one gallery. There was a lot going on at this event. So let me scroll around. This was just Thursday. I think some people spoke on this day, but look at this shot when the room is full. Like I want to see that. I know that they also my client wants to see that. I've got shots of the food, which yes, it is really important that you capture these things and just people having a good time because that's the type of event that this was, right? This was their introduction. This was their, we just got here. This is our nightly reception that they're giving us. And again, just a good time, really. I'm going to go down to another gallery. This was the day that they chose for them to just be out and about golfing. And you may be like, well, what can I possibly capture at a golf course? A lot, a lot. And we're not looking for perfection. Your client is just looking for you to document the day, document that time. And because there were so many people at the golf course, sometimes it was hard to follow through and go around and see where everybody was. So I just did my best to capture people in motion, people that I knew were part of this company and were there. I also wanted to capture shots of where we were. This was in Hot Springs, Virginia. It was beautiful. The scenery was great. Again, I'm just capturing people doing what they do. And because my client requested golfing shots, then we're out here. We're in the golf course. We're doing the thing. Let's see what else we've got. They had a reception. And again, we're back to the details. The event planner, along with everyone else from decor to the AV people to the catering company, everyone wants to see how their services and what they brought, what value it brings to the event. So I'm just capturing away. And it's not a random thing. It's something that over the years I've been able to hone in. I've been able to really understand and I just capture away. I capture away, but I walk around a lot. I talk about this a lot here on my YouTube channel and in other videos. It's important to walk around. It's important for you to just move your body, okay? Because standing in one place, you're not going to see it all, but as you're moving around the room, and I love different angles. I love different angles. I love to see different angles, and that requires me to move around, right? Like I love this shot here because you're below, but you're seeing the chairs, the flowers, the this, the that. And then we get to the part where people are again just mingling, chatting away. Let me go back, clear this out for you all so that you can see all that I'm seeing. And we're not looking for anything crazy. We are looking for people. Look at that. I love shots like this. And that means I have to sit back and wait for these moments. And it means I have to walk around and see these moments happen. And I wanna go on a limb and say that some of the best photographers are people watchers. The greatest people watchers, because you anticipate moments. You truly anticipate moments, and you're seeing now you see that I hop back and forth. Like, 1 minute I'm out here where the party is at, and then I'm back in the room. Why did I do that? I did that because They're the decor people that were doing the decorations and the event staff and all of that, they tend to prepare the room in phases. So I like to go in and out just to see if there were any changes to the room. And in this case, there happened to be a lot more changes versus when I went in the first time. I'm always carrying two cameras because I need to make sure that I am capturing everything, everything. That's just me. Everybody is not like that, okay? Everybody is different. Let me turn my Instagram. Hey y'all on IG. It's good to see you. I don't know if you're able to see what my screen is showing. Maybe it's out of focus. And if anybody knows how to help me with that, please do because I don't know how to do it. But here we are. I'm just going over a client gallery. Okay, let's fix that. And hopefully it's showing not out of focus, but here we are. I saw some changes and I wanted to capture that. I love a black and white. I don't know about you, but and not all black and white images are created equal. Just want to put that out there. I have perfected this one, crafted it over the years, and I love it. My clients love my black and white shots, and so do I. So, not to brag, but to point out. All right, let me go back to the second question real quick, just as I'm viewing the gallery. And the question comes from Errol Moments. And Errol says, for events, is it better to do hourly like 350 or a fixed so like 1500 for 4 hours or 8 hours 4500 when pricing? I'll tell you what I do and I'll tell you what works for me and what has been working for me over the years, and that is working hourly. That isn't always the case. Primarily, that's what my company does. Why? Because it's just a system that I have adopted over the years and it just works for us. As I'm speaking, I'm going to let these images flow. So, the reason why, and another reason why I prefer doing hourly is because you just never know what the hours of operation are going to be like on any given day at any given event. It may be that you end up going over a certain time. And for me, I just don't want the headache of having to figure out, okay, I charge you $1,500 for 6 hours. Just a random example. I'm not putting any, any value to the hours here. But let's say you're there for 6 hours, you charge that amount. Then are you breaking down what it would be like for additional hours? Like I like billing and I use Wave apps. I don't know if you're familiar with Wave apps, but this is what I use for my invoicing and it works. I have my hourly there. The clients know, and I do have a minimum of hours that I expect clients to book for. So it's just what I've been doing over the years and it's just what's been working. There are instances where I do charge a flat fee for a certain amount of hours, but that really just depends on your client and working with your client. So, in what we do with Annan Productions, with the images that we capture, we're capturing to tell stories. And as a photographer, videographer, cinematographer, graphic designer, actor, actress, whatever it is that you are in your field, really understanding the art of storytelling is really critical, I believe, to and pivotal to the success of what you're doing because we are beings that tell stories. I try to remind people of that a lot. We're beings, and think about the earliest story that you've heard, right? Like think about the earliest story that you've heard someone tell you, or for you that have children, it's always like, well, mommy or daddy, tell me a story. And we're always captivated by that. Some of the best movies, some of your favorite movies, you don't just like them because of the imagery. You don't just like them because of the soundtrack. You like them because of the story that they're telling. You like the buildup. You like the consistency. You like that you can follow that story along from beginning to end. And yeah, because of our attention spans nowadays, maybe you kind of lose track here and there, but you can pick it back up. And it's always, it's always a joy. And that's what I aim to do with Annan Productions. I want it to be that from the beginning to the end of your event, you are able to tell that story. You're able to relive that story, and you're able to see that story come to life, because it takes an entire team. A seamless production cannot just be done by one person alone. It takes an entire team. And when I say production, I'm talking about these types of events that we capture. I need it to be that the florist is able to see themselves in these images. I need it to be that the the people that are doing the catering, the people who are doing AV, something that I have seen other photographers run into, even with screens, right? I know that you see that screen back here. Some people are unable to capture that without making everything else dark, without overexposing or without underexposing. So just understanding that everyone in this setting should be represented in a way, shape, or form is really, really important. There goes that black and white that I was talking to you all about. I love it. I just there is something about it. And maybe one day I'll write about it so that I could really bring to life what it is that my black and white preset that I've perfected over the years, what that means to me, and how it emotes, not just, emotions within myself, but also with the viewer, which in this case would be you or my clients. So yeah, here it's this is really it. This is the gallery. I live for these types of shots, you all. Like the engaged shots, the shots where you really get a sense of what is going on. They're golden. They are golden. You'll love them. Your client will love them. And it's a must. It's a must. And as you're preparing your shot list, as you are preparing, and a shot list doesn't have to be anything crazy extensive. Now, you will have clients that require that. You will have clients that will require you to stick to a certain shot list, and that's okay. That's needed. Because they're hiring you for that particular event to capture what they want you to capture. There are other clients that will allow you to go outside of those parameters, to extend, right? To just capture away. But if you are working with a client that has certain expectations, then make sure that you are having conversations with them to remain on topic and on shot list. You know, you don't want to go off of that. Now, if I were to give you a basic shot list, I would say primarily for every speaker, you want to get at least these four angles, okay? Four angles and four shots. You want to get them on the side, both sides. You want the front, okay? And then the fourth shot that you're looking for is either going to be them speaking with crowd involved, as you can see here, or behind them, if you have that ability to go behind them and get that shot, them speaking and the crowd is seen in your image. Those are I think four shots, and within those shots, always make sure that you have a variety. You've got a close up, you have a wide, you have a medium close up, and then you have either a super wide or you have a super tight shot. But you want to make sure that you are capturing the room. I want to show you all this fun. Oh man, this was the best, by far the best meeting, like company staff meeting that I have ever attended. And I have shot a few. And I love that it started with breakfast and then out of nowhere, things just took a turn. And what I mean is there were people with signs outside of the main room, and it was such a fun thing. It was so cool, and what I didn't understand is it was the precedent to what would have been, like, an amazing, amazing meeting, and I love that they did this meeting in look at these shots, like, people are walking in like, "What is going on? What are we about to walk into?" And there's just so much joy, so much fun. They made this into like an ESPN type of show where you would see, you've got your commentators and they're doing play-by-plays, and everyone that came up to do a report, they came up to do a report as if they were also a commentator, which is hilarious. Everyone got to wear their jerseys and hats and rep their teams. So it was really nice. You see, like, people are coming down the line, and again, me having both of my cameras, having all of my lenses, it really helps tell the story because I'm in and out of rooms. You see, I'm in the room and now I'm outside in the hallway because every now and then I would hear people like, "Oh, what's going on?" And I would just hear all this commotion. So I wanted to come outside and also capture that. Oh, I love these types of jerseys. They're so much fun, so cool. And this was right before the meeting itself started, and I wanna get those shots. I wanna get the shots of people coming in. I wanna get the shots of the people presenting, the shots of the room. Like I said, you want those wides, you want those medium close-ups, you want those close-up shots, and you're capturing it all. If you just have that pattern of medium close-up, wide, you're after a while, you'll just rinse and repeat. That's it. You will rinse and repeat. And you see here that for this type of shot, I have a 70 to 200, and I can go in quite far. We're in the tights. Funny tights. Funny tights. That actually sounds really funny. Funny tights. Prime or zoom lens, and it's Eero. And this is Eero. Eero. I look. We're trying here. It is a Wednesday and I feel like the week is already over, but I also felt like it was Monday. I don't know. So I recommend a mix. I don't ever think it is too much. And thank you so much, Earl. I really appreciate you being here in the comments. Really helps. I recommend a mix. I always bring a mix in my camera bag because you just never know the types of scenarios that you're going to encounter, and you never know what you need to capture your shots, right? So for example, I love bringing my 50 millimeter. I love bringing my 85 millimeter because there are moments, and let me see if I can find those shots. Maybe not in this gallery. Let's see. There are moments where I'm actually here. I want to say that most of this gallery were primes because I was in close proximity to people and I wasn't too far away from them. Yeah. So I'm using prime, and I love with my primes, what I primarily love about my primes, is the quality that I'm getting, the amount of light that is coming into my camera through my lens. So it really depends the mood that I'm also trying to set while I'm capturing the shots. And that's why I highly recommend bring your prime, bring your zoom lenses. I love that my 85 is also a woof, what is the term that I'm looking for? It is also I now the term is I'm totally forgetting it, but I can capture really close. It's up and close, like And usually in the wedding realm, in the wedding niche sector, you would use those for ring shots. But it's great. And I know the 100 millimeter prime also does that. Like you can capture, but if anybody knows the term on here, for some reason I'm just forgetting. Most of these were shot on a prime. They were shot on the prime. And the thing about primes is depending on depending on your millimeters, it's really gonna require for you to walk around a whole lot. I love my 50. Love, 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 love. That's almost always in my camera bag. Almost always living in there. Yeah, these are all I knew we were going to be outside and I knew the tent would be a glass-like tent. So I knew that there was going to be so much light. And what did I do? I pulled out my prime quickly with the quickness. And these are all prime. It just required I'm just required to walk around a little bit more. Now, when it was time for the speech, because somebody did speak, I used my Zoom, my 70 to 200. And that was because I try my best to be out of the way as much as possible. I didn't want to be too close to people. I didn't want to disrupt too much. So I just had my 70 to 200. I stood at the back of the room, on the side, the other side, and then I kind of moved around here and there. But I'm capturing. I'm capturing away. My job is to let people have a good time and not make people uncomfortable as much as possible and let them enjoy themselves. People barely see me. They barely see me. By the time you saw me, I had already gotten my shot and I'm out of the way. So, let's see. Saturday evening. Oh, this was really nice. They had a derby. It was kind of like a derby. And these are all with my prime. This is with the 85. This is with my 85 millimeter right here that you're seeing. These are with my 50. Some of them are with the much wider ones I took with my 15 to 35. It's a zoom lens because I wanted to capture the essence of this event. I needed to capture it in its entire glory because it's important. Let me go back and find these types of shots. These types of shots I absolutely love. Let me clear this out. I want to show you the shots that I captured with the 85. Okay, but before that, let's just look at some macrons. Look at this. Look at this. Just beautiful. Oh, dessert table? Come on. You've got to get those. Come on. Look at these shots. They're beautiful. They make you want to open up a bakery, don't they? Or at the very least go buy treats. At least they make me. Yeah. And this is the same food. It's the same food, but I want to get them from different angles. Same food, right? I could have just gotten a wide and walked away with it, but we're not doing that. I could have just walked away with this, but no. I want to capture different angles. I want to see what else there is. I use events to better myself, to better my craft. And that's what you should always be doing. And one thing I do not recommend is overshooting, over capturing. Plan out your shots. And I don't mean months in advance or weeks in advance. If you want to do that, that's fine. But plan out your shots even as you're standing there. When I first walked into this room and I saw that the dessert table was complete, I'm going to walk all the way back. I said, you know what? Okay, cool. I think at this point I had my 50 millimeter on. And so I said, yeah, let me just capture these shots real quick. Let's just do that. Why not? Oh, this looks really good. I'm sorry. This is so delicious, y'all. But then I go back and I say, okay, all right, we're tight. We're tight. But let's loosen things up a little bit. Let's widen them up, right? And I just play around. This is the same corner, it's the same table. You're just looking at different shots from different angles. All extremely tantalizing. Like, come on, this stuff is delicious. And we're back to the fun. We're back to the people at the Derby. And to answer your question, Hero, most of these are prime. Most of these are shot on a prime. Just remembering, you're telling a story. This is not shot on a prime. I think this was my 24 to 70. And the only reason why I know which lens is which is because I carry a set amount of lenses and I use them specifically for angles that I have in mind. When I walk into a room, I know exactly what I want to use. And that didn't happen overnight. It is something that happens over time. The more you do it, after every event, do a post event evaluation. If you don't have a team, even if it's just you, do a post event evaluation. Like, see what worked, see what didn't work. Figure out, how can I better myself for my client the next time? How can I better myself, for my art, for my business, for what I'm doing? All of these things they're extremely critical. All right, I was going to show you the tight shots that I took with my 85. Now, watch this, right? I took shots of this table because this was right when you walked in. Let me check in on my IG friends because you all, they are here. They are definitely here. Hi, you all. I'm here. So, you have this table when you first walk in, right? The table with the crabs and oysters and just all the yum yum. All right. Yummy foods. But then I walked back. Like this right here, I think this was on a 50, either on a 50 or 24 to 70. But I went back and I said, I actually want to get a little closer. Brought back my 85. And these are the shots that we got with the 85. Do you see that? We are up and close. I mean, we're about to be inside of the crab if we go any further. So just to give you an idea for what I always say, work the room, move around, do what you need to do to get the shot. Oh, other shots that I really love with my 85, and I'm going to highlight them. Oh, look at that. That's with my 85 millimeter. Let me close this out and show you all the rest of, okay, everything that I took with the 85, because we were at the Derby, and although there weren't real horses, I wanted my client to get a sense of like, oh, wow, this is really nice. As if there were actual horses there. You all, no horses. Just me having fun. Just me having a good time capturing the event from the perspective of, I don't think my client knows this is happening here. Like, yeah, sure, they place these items here, but how can I capture these? How can I make this event that much better just with the photos that I'm capturing? And this is when the anticipation started to build here. Ah, people are putting in their bets. Hilarious. And finally, we'll take a look at all of the fun when the results finally start to come in. This is, oh, let me back up. Okay. This is like the anticipation building. Again, look at, do you see that? This is the shot that I was talking about that you can also do with a speaker, a keynote speaker, guest speaker, whomever, somebody just talking at the mic. In this case, you would have them here. This is them. This would be the person where the TV is, the corner of the TV, and this would be like the rest of the crowd. Or you can go totally behind the TV, which in this case would be the person, and then you would capture over the shoulder. So I'm here just like, ooh, the anticipation is building. Again, I'm telling a story. I am telling the story as I see it. Why? Because everybody is like, what? My horse, the horse that I betted on. And this is the same thing that I would capture if I were at a real derby, right? But because we don't have the horses or anything like that, we're watching them on the screen. It still deserves the same amount of fun, the same amount of thrill, the same amount of anticipation. And yeah, that's what it's about. Like I said in the beginning, my client for this did not give me a shot list. And that was purely out of trust. If you are working with a client that prefers that you have a shot list, or that you follow their shot list, then that's okay too. That's fine. That's not an issue. But just know that it's really all about telling a story. Like it and I tell other photographers this, like it's not so much about what shot I need I need to capture versus what shot I'm not capturing. It's about telling the story. Let me take you to another gallery. I use photo Pixie Set, so my gallery is quite extensive. Like my galleries, I'll say, I have a lot, and sometimes I leave them here. Other times I don't. But let me see. I want to show you a shot list, a recent shot list, a recent event that I captured a shot with a precise shot list. So for this event, my client wanted me to capture everything, everything from their perspective. They requested that I did this. And this is what I sent them because they told me exactly what they were looking for. And this was for Ed Trust. They were celebrating the 30 years. And the place is gorgeous. The location is it's majestic, you all. And what I wanted to do was exactly that. Give me one second. You all on Instagram, I am on YouTube right now. So if you want to jump over to YouTube, do that. But I'm just going over client galleries and just showing what those can look like. Do not mind my messy desk, you all. Instagram is actually seeing what my desk looks like. So part of it. I wanted to I wanted to follow my client's shot list request precisely while still providing the value, while still providing the artistic flair that we bring to every event. And that's exactly what I did. I captured the event the way that they envisioned just with my art, just with my artistic eye, with my artistic flair, with my artistic intuition. And that's what it should also be about. Just because you have somebody telling you what they want doesn't mean that you cannot add your own spin to it. You absolutely can. And I mean, these are shots that we were capturing throughout the night, and this is a variety. Some of these are flash, some of them are non-flash. Most of the night, I don't recall using a flash, especially during when people are speaking. I try not to use a flash because I know it's expected of me, but I also know that I don't need to have that in order you know, for you to be well lit. And sometimes people struggle with that. You know, my client told me exactly what they wanted. And that is exactly what we did. I captured. And for this event, I was solo. I had a mix of lenses with me. I had both of my cameras and just doing my best to capture a little bit of everything. These types of moments here, they're beautiful. The reactions, you're looking for things like that because your client is not going to anticipate that. They're not going to, in a shot list, they're going to say, "Oh, I want you to capture so and so. Excuse me. I want you to capture so and so when they receive their award and make sure that they're this way." You cannot plan for those types of moments, but they'll say, please capture so and so receiving their award. Now, how we're going to do it, that's all up to me. That's all up to you. So here they're receiving it. Here's another angle. They're holding it. It really is just about, and look at that, the warm embrace. Okay. I wanted to get a sense of how many people were in the room. The client asked to see that this timeline that they had, a timeline wall. I like getting behind the scenes shots of people working. It's always a good thing. The client in this case asked for motion. Also, be prepared for requests and practice. Practice, even if you don't have those types of requests coming in, I always recommend that you practice outside of your comfort zone because it's really imperative that you do. For this, I knew that the client wanted motion, and they didn't tell me when and where. They just told me I want actual motion, what you're seeing here, where you're seeing people moving and there are other things that are still in the shot. And that's what we did. That's what I did. I just found ways to incorporate that. And it's not in everything, like here. They love this. Why? Because they asked for a certain thing and they got it. And it's going to be up to you to still show up and deliver. So there was another shot that I showed motion in, and I want to find that for you. Let me see. Let me go back to the preview gallery. Sometimes my clients ask for preview galleries, other times they just want event galleries. So this is why you're seeing preview gallery here and then event gallery on this side. And there was a really nice motion shot that I really loved. Let me just go look for it. No. There it is. Yep. Again, the client asked for something and I delivered it in the best way that I thought, and at the best moment. I found a moment where there was a lot of movement, and I'm not looking for perfection. In this moment, I wanted to highlight Ed Trust, and I also wanted to create the motion down here that you're seeing with them moving about. And that's the thing about motion. You should always find a target. Like that's where whoever is frozen, whatever cannot move, and then everything else around it moves. So did another one right here. Still so lovely. Lovely. I could have gotten into more motion, but you know, I think right where I had it is great. So that is another gallery. That was a gallery that actually required a lot of shot list requests. Trying to see if I can show you any other galleries. Yeah, I love Sadie Collective. I don't know if you're familiar with the Sadie, but here we are. We are capturing the panel, different angles, same people. The persons rarely change. If it's a panel discussion, depending on the set or how many times the same presenters go up, it really it it varies per event. At these types of events, because everything is pretty static, like there isn't a lot of movement from the audience, I'm trying to capture in between, right? So I'll get a little bit of the people that are speaking, the presenters, and then I like to shoot in between. So you can tell that these are people here because this is a shadow, but I want to just give that angle. And what this angle here helps you see is, huh, I feel like I'm in the audience. Let me turn this around for my IG. Give me 1 second. I'm going to turn this around so that you all can see a little better what I'm doing. There we go. Oh no, not my keyboard. Lord. So let me see here. Uh-oh. Are you all here? Yeah, you're still with me. Give me 1 second, YouTube. Okay. All right, there we go. As I was saying, you're not seeing too much here. Like there isn't a lot going on. These people are sitting down and they're listening. But I'm also capturing those angles. I also want to make sure that we're seeing that, yeah, this is a much more serious conversation, but what are the people in the audience reacting to? How are they reacting to? Right? And in that, you're not always going to find everybody is reacting to the same thing or reacting the same way, but it is your job to find that. You're finding people that are writing. I do my best not to get into their personal space as far as like what they're actually writing, but I'm trying to capture a little bit, and I'll try to, maybe do an out of focus shot just so that their privacy is still intact. But I here's another thing that I love to do. I love sitting down. Yeah. I I'm not standing the entire time because sometimes I want to come down to the level of the person viewing this event as well. And I want my camera to sit in that audience so that I can get this type of perspective here. And that requires you, again, scanning the room, walking around, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work. I tell photographers often it's at an event that you're going to learn these things. Like that's the place where you can mess up. That's the place where you could take the really bad shot and then keep doing it. Sometimes I'll sit there and it'll be like three, four, five shots later that I realize, you know what? I don't really like this shot. Or, let me keep changing my settings around until I get it. And then I move on to the next thing. And it's the same with the audience. I'm looking for these moments here. I'm looking for that. I mean, engagement, even within the panel themselves. So just making sure that, look at that. Look at that. You're capturing it all. You are capturing it all. And you cannot be shy doing this. Like you and even if you are, you better move. You better move because the more you move around, the better shots that you'll get. And just seeing different detail shots. Let me see. There's a moment that they go out into another event. Not another event, but they have a networking session. Oh, I love these shots here. These here were some of my favorite from this event. Let me clear this out. Just so much engagement. Just a lot going on. And throughout this video, I hope that you've been able to see, I hope that you've been able to get an idea for what a client portfolio looks like, a client gallery, client preview images, and what you should be thinking about as you build your own standard shot list that you'll use for your clients. I hope that you've been able to get an idea for what telling a story with your images looks like because that is just as important. That is just as important. What story are you telling as the photographer? Are you just clicking away? Is it just a button? I sure do hope not, because at the end of the day, you're there for a reason. And the primary reason you're there, excuse me, the primary reason you're there is to ensure that you're capturing the event in the best way possible, in the best light possible, because the goal is for you to continue to better your skills and for you to provide great value to your clients. Like you want that. You don't just want it to be that, you're just taking photos. If that's the case, cool. That's you. Like do that. But longevity wise, I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it. I recommend that you get into the habit of being able to tell a story through your images, and that means you're capturing emotions, you are capturing those tender moments, you are capturing the setting. Where are you? Where are we? What am I looking at? Where am I? Can I tell where I am just by looking at your images? I love to tell the story from beginning to end because your client deserves that. It's not just about making money. Making money is great and you can make money doing anything. But it is primarily about being able to tell that story, being able to satisfy your clients in that way because the end goal is that bringing a lot more trust, a lot more visibility, and a lot more clients. That is it. That is really it. I love the question. Thank you so much, Joe, for asking. Also, thank you to everyone that logged in both on YouTube and on Instagram. As always, feel free to leave another comment. And I have a few other comments that I'm going to answer in a Q&A live style. I really like this because it helps me to just continue to share in real time. It helps me to recycle some of my ideas and just be able to share with you all because it's a lot. Like there are a lot of ideas that I'll have at times, and there is so much that I've learned over the years, and my goal is just to give back. Just take it. Take it for what it's worth, you know? Enjoy the ride, enjoy the process. Don't be so quick to rush to a certain place. Enjoy that journey. And you two will have things to talk about. So I'll see you in the next video. Be sure to leave a comment down below. Share this with someone that would love to learn more about client galleries. For the people on Instagram, you can jump over to my YouTube channel, which is where you're going to find the entire video. In this video, I talked about just actually in this video, I showed you what a client gallery looks like, what client expectations are like, and what a shot list is, what building a shot list looks like. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, I'm seeing the different comments here. So yes, for all of my people on Instagram, jump over to YouTube. Once this live finishes, it'll live up here. Okay. You're able to go through the video. For my people on YouTube, make sure you're following me on Instagram because I also drop a few nuggets there. And I will see you all next time. Take care.